Hello everyone, welcome back to BioBuddy, and today we'll be starting with the second module, that is biomolecules, and we'll be studying the structure, the function and the composition. So there are various biomolecules which are required by our body, and these molecules are very important for our body. They're very beneficial because they almost perform all the cellular specific functions which our body performs on a daily basis, and because of which we need them. Biomolecules have various types. For example, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, okay, lipids. Everything is required by our body, but their amounts are different from each other. That is, some of them are required in trace amounts and some of them are required in large amounts. So talking about vitamins aren't synthesized in the body because with the course of evolution, many higher animals, all the higher animals, they have lost their capacity to synthesize vitamins. That is, our body cannot synthesize vitamins, so we need to procure these vitamins from outside. We need to collect that from outside and take it in the form of a diet. For example, अगर हमें कोई विटामिन हमें नहीं मिल रहा है, बहुत डेफिशिएंट है, वेजिटेबल्स में नहीं है, फ्रूट्स में नहीं है, सो उनके सप्लीमेंट्स बनते हैं, दैट इज़ इन द फॉर्म ऑफ टैबलेट्स. Okay, so now we'll be talking about types of vitamins. Types क्या होते हैं vitamins के? दो type के होते हैं majorly, water soluble and fat soluble. So in this chapter we will be covering, in this video we will be covering only the water soluble vitamins, and in the next video we'll be covering the fat soluble vitamins. So water soluble vitamins we have written, you can see that: thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, biotin, pantothenic acid, folic acid, cobalamin, pyridoxine, ascorbic acid. All these are very important, but they are classified on the basis of their solubility, that is water soluble or fat soluble. So first we'll be talking about thiamine, that is vitamin B1. It is the inactive form, but we have also mentioned that its active form is TPP, that is thiamine pyrophosphate. And how is it formed? The ATP group, it is formed by the transfer of a pyrophosphate group from ATP to thiamine. That is, ATP होता है, ATP में से pyrophosphate group जो होता है वो transfer हो जाता है to thiamine, and it leads to the formation of thiamine pyrophosphate. And how is it composed? It is composed of substituted thiazole ring joined to the substituted pyrimidine by the methylene bridge. You can see here, this is the methylene bridge, as you can see, and thiamine से बन रहा है TPP, which is the active form. Thiamine is always in the inactive form. Okay, so an ATP is being transferred from ATP, the pyrophosphate group is being transferred. This is how TPP is formed. So functions: TPP act as a coenzyme in the oxidase decarboxylation of alpha keto acid. Now you can just remember this कि इसका function ये होता है कि TPP जो होता है जब वो active form में होता है, मतलब thiamine, वो act करता है as a coenzyme in the oxidative decarboxylation of a keto acid and in the formation and degradation of alpha ketols by the enzyme called transketolase. This is the simplest function you can ever study of any vitamin, and this should be on your tip. What is the deficiency caused by which vitamin? So we're talking about thiamine, that is B1, and its deficiency is written here clearly, that is beriberi. Its deficiency causes beriberi. It is found in the area where polished rice is a major component in the diet. Okay, so because they are not able to get the proper nutrition, they're not able to get the proper vitamins, so therefore its deficiency is beriberi. Now we'll be moving on to second one. It is riboflavin, and constitute of FMN, that is flavin mononucleotide, and FAD, that is flavin adenine dinucleotide. You need to remember those. So these are very important. This whole unit is about memorizing. You need to memorize certain points. That is, whenever somebody asks you what is thiamine, you should know what is thiamine, what is its active form, इसकी deficiency क्या cause करती है, उसका function क्या होता है, उसका structure क्या होता है. These are the 4 to 5 basic points from which you need to remember for each vitamin. So now, for example, we're talking about riboflavin, that is B2. Now we need to know किसका constituent होता है. तो constituent होता है FMN का and FAD का. You need to know their full forms. And how is it now? It is written how is it formed. Riboflavin plus phosphate synthesized together, they form FMN, and AMP moiety from ATP to FMN gives rise to FAD. All right, you can take a screenshot of this. If you don't have anything to make notes, or you are not able to make notes, you can just screenshot it, read it once again, and memorize it. Okay. So next is FMN and FAD are both capable of accepting two hydrogen atoms, forming FMNH2 or FADH2. When the ring is reduced, the color is lost. You can see here in the structures are very important. You need to know the structures. However, it is important only for the theoretical basis. In the exam, nobody's asking you the structures, but you need to know these deficiencies and what is their structure, FAD, FMN, किसका part है, Riboflavin क्या है. Okay, you need to know these certain points, because अगर ये नहीं पता होगा then तुमने फिर पढ़ा नहीं है कुछ भी, because वो फिर फ़ायदा नहीं करेगा. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज नियासिन और निकोटिनिक एसिड. निकोटिनिक एसिड तुमने सुना होगा, कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट होता है? Yes, because it is very common. Niacin / nicotinic acid is a substituted pyridine derivative. This biologically active coenzyme. It also acts as a coenzyme. As you can see, it's written. It is a biologically active coenzyme called NAD+, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. And its phosphorylated form is NADP+, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. अब ये था कि ये जब बायोलॉजिकली एक्टिव होता है तो ये कोएंजाइम की तरह एक्ट करता है, जिनका नाम हमने बता दिया. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज रिड्यूस्ड फॉर्म ऑफ NAD+ एंड NADP+ और NADH एंड NADPH. अब इसका रिड्यूस्ड फॉर्म हमें पता है. नियासिन निकोटिनिक एसिड किसका डेरिवेटिव होता है? या सब्स्टिट्यूटेड pyridine डेरिवेटिव. यू नीड टू कीप दिस पॉइंट्स इन माइंड. डेफिशिएंसी क्या कॉज करता है? पेलाग्रा. ठीक है. दिस डिजीज अफेक्ट्स द स्किन एंड द CNS, दैट इज द सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम. What is the central nervous system? Brain and the spinal cord, right? तो उसको affect करता है. So that now we know niacin is very very important, because नहीं तो brain disorders या फिर spinal disorders or nerve disorders कुछ भी हो सकता है, because it causes pellagra. These symptoms progress through the 3 Ds. Okay, and what is the 3 Ds? Dermatitis, diarrhea, dementia. If they're not treated, it leads to death. Okay. Dermatitis is a skin disorder, diarrhea is the intestinal disorder, dementia is a brain disorder. All of these are associated with niacin. So now we know that niacin is present it should be present in the trace amounts in our diet, and should be present. ऐसा नहीं कि लो या मत लो, it's equal. You have to take it. Procurement is very very important. So next is biotin. Biotin, you must have heard biotin tablets also come, because biotin is a very rare type of vitamin which is procured from various vegetables or various things. So therefore people are not able to take it from take it in the form of their diet, so they procure it by the diet system. Okay, that is tablets की form में आता है. You take it directly and just swallow it, and you never deficient in biotin. It's a coenzyme in the carboxylation reaction, acts as a mobile carboxyl group carrier. Biotin is bound to an enzyme by amide linkage between the carboxyl group of its valerate side chain and the amino acid of the lysine residue of an enzyme to form a biocytin. Okay. Now, biotin dependent carboxylations use bicarbonate as carboxylating agent and transfer the carboxyl group to the substrate carbanion. This is not that important, which I'm telling you, the third point and this whole paragraph, because it is basically related to structures. It is important for the theoretical point of view. So people who are just, looking for writing answers in their theoretical test papers, you can just memorize this point. This is a very important point and score you various marks. So ATP plus HCO3 plus pyruvate gives oxaloacetate. This is a simple reaction which you need to learn. Should be on your tips. Reactions and structures. Deficiency of vitamin biotin doesn't usually occur. It's widely distributed in foods. Supplements, foods that I've already mentioned, you can just procure biotin from that. So now next is the examples. For example, raw egg. It has a glycoprotein called as evidin. It's tightly bound to the glycoprotein biotin and prevents an absorption from the intestine. Streptavidin is secreted by streptavidin avidini and has high affinity for biotin. Next is pantothenic acid. Pantothenic acid is a component of coenzyme A, responsible for the transfer of acyl group. Coenzyme A has thiol group that carries acyl components as activated thiol esters. Pantothenic acid is a constituent of ACP, that is acyl carrier protein. You need to remember this just for the theoretical point of view. Functions: activation of acyl group for transfer of nucleophilic attack. This is the one important point. And second is activation of alpha hydrogen of the acyl group. Next is folic acid. Folic acid has pterin ring attached to the p-aminobenzoic acid, that is PABA short form, conjugated with one or more glutamic acid residues. Now its active form is tetrahydrofolic acid, that is THF. That means when folic acid is present in the inactive form, but its active form is tetrahydrofolic acid. Dihydrofolate reductase, an ATPase dependent enzyme, catalyzes the reduction of 5, 6, 7 and 8 positions of the protein ring. Now what is the function? Function is it plays a key role in the transfer of 1 C unit of all oxidation levels of carbon except that of CO2, and is essential for the biosynthesis of certain amino acids. Okay, now you can read out all the points and memorize them. Keep them in mind. Next we are studying cobalamin, that is vitamin B12, and two components which are written here. They are very important components. It has 2 pyrrole rings linked directly. Cobalt is present as a metal which is coordinated by 4 pyrrole nitrogens. 5,6-dimethyl benzimidazole ribonucleotide, the second component of vitamin B12, is coordinated with the codon ring. As I've already said, the 2 important components are this and this. B12 participate in 2 types of reactions, that is intramolecular rearrangements and methyl group transfers. Isomerization of methyl malonyl CoA, that is coenzyme A, and methyl group transfers, that is during the synthesis of methionine. This is the function. Functions can obviously come in 1 marker or 2 marker questions, but in case of theoretical exams, and in case of net exam, you need to memorize it. The functions are very important, and you need to know the names as well. That is the names that is written here that I've already told you. That is thymine. Thymine का name is B1, riboflavin is B2. You need to know these. अगर हम एक ही नाम याद करके जाएंगे, supposedly हमसे पूछ लिया गया कि second question में कि क्या है, नेम्स क्या है, नेम नहीं पता होगा तो यू विल बी कंफ्यूज, नंबर वहीं गया. पूरा रिटेन करने से जगह स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग एंड जस्ट मेमोराइज एवरीथिंग यू नीड टू नो. Then is pyridoxine B6, occurs in plants. It is a collective form of pyridoxine, pyridoxal and pyridoxamine. All are the derivatives of pyridine. They only differ in the nature of functional group attached to the ring, that is pyridoxal and pyridoxamine is found in the foods obtained from animals. All the components can serve as precursor in the biologically active coenzyme, that is pyridoxal phosphate. So in the next unit we have ascorbic acid, vitamin C. It acts as a strong reducing agent. It's widely distributed in animals and plants due to lack of enzyme L-gluco-gamma lactase oxidase. Certain birds and primates, animals and some fishes are unable to synthesize it. Vitamin C has a role in hydroxylation reaction. Deficiency leads to scurvy, okay, and leads to spore and spongy gums and loose teeth, fragile blood vessels, swollen joints and anemia. This can be explained by deficiency in hydroxylation of collagen, which results in the defective connective tissue. So this is all, and after that this is the water soluble vitamins. This is all about the water soluble vitamins. Because of pretty much theoretical part in it, there is a lot of theory. You just need to memorize. For example, you can check out the net exam papers of the last year. You can check out all of these papers and you can see what kind of questions from vitamins comes, and basically they are about their names or their function or the deficiency. So you need to know them on your tips. What are the deficiencies of each vitamin which I've explained, and what is their structure, किसका ग्रुप कौन सा कहाँ पे ट्रांसफ़र होता है. यू नीड टू नो दैट, क्योंकि उसी से क्वेश्चंस आते हैं बेसिकली. यू कैन प्रैक्टिस देम. हर एक विटामिन के 4 to 5 पॉइंट्स शुड बी ऑन योर टिप्स सो दैट यू कैन नो every time anyone asks you or you need to know what is folic acid, you need to know. Okay, so next chapter we'll be starting. The next video I'll be explaining you the fat soluble vitamins.